Alright, guys, on today's review, I'm going to be reviewing the movie Office Space. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that probably have their jobs and they go to every day and they feel like they're going to a dead end job and they're going nowhere and they're just fucking burnt out. How many times have we gone to our work and just heart wasn't into it? This movie, I would recommend to anyone that is going through that type of situation fucking call in, pick up this movie, and watch it. Because I guarantee when you go back to work, you're going to have that type of attitude. The movie starts off with a guy who's burnt out of his job. He's getting nowhere. Everyone kind of walks on, all over him at his job. Um, his boss makes him stay late. His boss makes him do shit that he's not, shit that's outside of his job title. It's just typical work situation, typical blue collar type stuff. Um, the guy's got about three friends that he hangs out with. They all work at the same place, and they're all pretty rich characters. From a characteristic point of view, all of them are all kind of geeky, dorky characters. If you're like me and have been kind of a social outcast most of your life, it's probably you're gonna recognize like probably three out of the four, if not all four of them. Um, but basically, the guy gets hypnotized to kind of forget things and release the stress and whatnot because his uptight girlfriend makes him go and do the therapy and whatnot. And so the guy who puts him in this kind of trance dies. I think it was a heart attack or something, and so he never gets taken out of the trance. So he's kind of living in that I don't give a fuck type mentality. And the hijinks of it, it's pretty funny because he does things and says things that we all think, like he skips work and he doesn't even call in. He doesn't, his boss tells him, we're all supposed to be here on Saturday. And the dude doesn't show up, doesn't call. He's just like, I didn't want to be here, so I didn't come. When he finally does show up, he grabs his stuff and goes fishing, or it's a really funny movie from that, you know, perspective of we all kind of wish we could get away with doing that stuff. We sit there, we're like, oh, one day I'm gonna walk out, or one day I'm gonna, I'm gonna tell him what I think of him, and this guy kind of actually does that. But it's got a lot of good actors in it. The guy who voiced Batman from Batman the Brave and Bold, Dan something, I forget what his name is. Like, I didn't even know. Like, when I saw the movie, I was like, I know that guy from somewhere. And he played the security guard on From Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. And so when that guy is probably the best character in that movie. Just I don't know. He plays the neighbor, and he kind of already has that I don't give a shit mentality that the main character adopts. Um, but that guy is probably my favorite character just because, like, we all kind of see, you know, like we all want to do what he does, which is not really give a shit. And then the main character kind of adopts that, philosophy. Um, they have another character that, like the other two is friends. One of them is I don't know what race he is, and I don't want to offend anyone, so I'm not going to even attempt to. I'm not sure what race he is. And there's another guy whose name is Michael Bolton, and that's played up for laughs. um, those two characters really aren't developed all that much. They're kind of just kind of watching the main character kind of do nothing. So I don't really think they're really developed all that much, but they're pretty fun. They do have a scene, all of them together, where they destroy the fax machine because it's a piece of crap. And so they go out and they kind of beat the shit out of it in a field, and it's kind of a fun moment because it's kind of symbolic of all the characters, because all of them feel that way, like they've been kind of walked all over and they deserve more and whatnot, and destroying this fax machine is kind of their breakaway from the rules and regulations or whatnot. And then there's another character who's probably my second favorite character, and sometimes he's the runner. He's the first. He's neck to neck with the neighbor, but he's a guy named Milton. This guy gets completely walked all over the whole film. Like they keep moving his desk around to places, and the guy never speaks up for himself, but he has this red stapler on his desk, and the boss takes his stapler back, and it's like you can see the rage in this guy. Like he's completely lost it. And I've met so many people at my different jobs that I'm like, oh, you go to a different job and you're like, oh, okay, that's the Milton of the group. Or you go somewhere else and you're like, oh, that's the Milton. Guy's just really unstable. And it's funny, especially at the end of the movie. Like it's the perfect ending for that character. But one of the things that happens to the guy is they move him into the basement. Like they move him from over here to like over here, and they move him from over here like to way over there. In the back, and then like just when you like every time they move him, you're like, oh, that's kind of fucked up. And then they move him into the basement, and so it's a good movie. I mean, you got to watch it. I'm not doing it justice, but yeah, watch it. Take a day off, watch it. I guarantee when you go back, you'll have that same mentality of, wow, this is the way work should be. It makes it more fun. But keep on geeking on, guys.